Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder, the place where we unravel the secrets hidden inside those dusty corporate filings. Today, we're peeling back the layers of Us Physical Therapy Incorporated's latest report, and let me tell you, it looks like they've been busy making some strategic moves. So what is the big picture here? Us Physical Therapy Incorporated, or USPs as they're known on the stock market, just dropped a report detailing something pretty significant. They've been expanding their reach, and it seems like they've been doing it with a bit of a flair for smart acquisitions. Think of this as them buying their way into new territories to offer more physical therapy services. Now, Us Physical Therapy is no small player. They operate a bunch of outpatient physical therapy clinics all across the nation, and they also help companies keep their employees from getting injured on the job, which is pretty smart. They're traded on the New York Stock Exchange, so they're a publicly recognized company, meaning they have to tell us what they're up to. The main event here happened right at the start of 2026. On the 5th of January, US Pace announced they had snapped up a company. This isn't just any company though. This newly acquired business is all about management services for physical therapy practices. What does that mean, simply put? It means they were in charge of running a physical therapy practice that already had 8 clinic locations. This practice they acquired is pretty decent in size. Annually, it brings in around $8 million and sees about 66,000 patient visits. That's a good chunk of business for a single practice. Now here is where it gets interesting from a business strategy perspective. US Physical Therapy didn't buy this whole thing outright, they acquired a 50% stake, meaning they now own half of this management company, the other 50%. That is still with the original owners. This is a common strategy called a joint venture or a partnership. It allows USPH to expand its footprint and gain new management expertise without taking on the full financial and operational risk, while still keeping the original owners invested and motivated. They've attached the actual announcement, their press release, to this report. Think of this like the official announcement party for their deal. It lays out the details of this acquisition and why they think it is a good move for the company. Now, when we talk about USPs on the stock market, we're usually looking at their common stock. This is the basic ownership stake that people can buy and sell. And the ticker symbol you'll see for Us Physical Therapy Incorporated is USPH. This is what traders use to find them on the New York Stock Exchange, or NYSE for short, and also on the NYSE Texas, Inc. When we look at the detailed structure of a company's stock, you'll see different classes, but for USPs, it is pretty straightforward with their common stock. The report also asks if they're an emerging growth company. This is like a special status for younger, smaller companies that have certain advantages when it comes to reporting rules. US Physical Therapy Incorporated is not an emerging growth company. They are a more established entity. The whole reason we're looking at this document is because the US Securities and Exchange Commission, or SEC, requires companies like USPs to tell the public about important events. They're the referees of the stock market, making sure everything is fair and transparent. This particular filing is called a Form 8K. It's for reporting significant events that happen between their larger, more regular financial reports. Think of it as a special bulletin for something big that just occurred. This just confirms it's being filed under the rules that govern how public companies report their activities to the SEC. Now, where is Us Physical Therapy Incorporated officially based or incorporated? They're registered in Nevada, and this number, or 1-11,151, is their specific filing number with the SEC. It's like their unique ID card there. And this one, 76-364,866, is their employer identification number, which is basically their tax ID number issued by the IRS. For their main operational headquarters, they're located in Houston, Texas, at 1300 West Sam, Houston Parkway, Suite 300. If you wanted to call them to ask about their services, their main phone number is 713-297-7000. This section, item 8.01, is where they file significant other events that don't fit into the more specific categories. This acquisition definitely qualifies. And finally, item 9.01 is where they list any financial statements and, crucially for us, any exhibits that accompany the report. In this case, the big exhibit is that press release we mentioned earlier. So let's zoom out and talk about what this means. Us Physical Therapy Incorporated is actively growing. This acquisition of a management company for an 8 clinic practice shows they're not just building new clinics from scratch, but they're also buying into existing operations that are already generating revenue. Partnering with the current owners for a 50% stake is a classic calculated move. It lets them tap into established patient bases and management styles without the full commitment of buying 100%. This suggests a strategy of careful, perhaps accelerated expansion into new markets or strengthening their presence in existing ones through these types of partnerships. Looking at the bigger picture, This plays into the growing demand for physical therapy services. As people get older and as awareness of the benefits of physical therapy for recovery and wellness increases, companies like US PAS are well positioned to benefit. Their strategy of acquisitions and partnerships rather than solely organic growth can lead to quicker market penetration. The risk here could be overpaying for these acquisitions, or integrating them in a way that doesn't yield the expected results, or even disagreements with their 50% partners. However, the fact that they are still actively making these moves indicates a belief in the continued health and growth of the physical therapy market, and their own capabilities to manage and expand these acquired assets. It is a smart play to diversify their growth strategy and leverage the expertise of existing players in the market. This expansion could lead to increased revenue and market share for Us Physical Therapy Incorporated in the long run. Alright, that is our breakdown of Us Physical Therapy Incorporated's latest filing. What's your take on this acquisition strategy and what it signals for the company's future? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. If this deep dive into corporate moves was valuable, hitting that like button really helps us out. And don't forget to subscribe for more insights from the world of business and finance. And if you want to connect with other sharp minds, check out our Discord community linked in the description. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next Decode.